see on the top, it is Rotaliza, so you just pick, which is normally on the top is section 03. Okay, this is the first consent form. You can see you need to fill in all this form. You need to fill in your email, and you need to read the TNC, the regulations, and over here you can see there is a section. Please don't just simply pick my name. Please look into your section. You are from section 09. If you pick different section, especially for your test, your answer script will be sent to different section. Although I am your lecturer, but your name will be not there, and the one who marking is not me only. Who will mark your answer for like test 2, final exam, is all lecturer. So if they didn't like find your name in specific section, so it's going to be like hard for us. Please make thing easier. Remember your section, and you need to pick like 09 as your section. And there is several things that you need to fill in. This is a consent form, one form. You have another form which is about your internet availability. Okay, this is the one. Similar also, you need to like fill in your information, and on the section, please make sure you pick the correct section. Before you submit, before you send the Google form, please make sure you speak the correct. So this is two form that you going to fill in before, and I put the notes here. Failure to submit before 5 p.m. Thursday 11/11/21. I think my sentences is wrong. Will result in student being barred for attempt test 1 and get 0 mark with no chance to retest. So there is no exception. If you like fall sick, you need to give us evidence um, that you've go to like clinics, which is proved by doctor. Not just simply I cannot move, I cannot wake up because I get fever, but there is no evidence. um what else? Okay, so that is on the question form. Now I'm going to share my screen. Others information about the test I will provide later on, which is like part A, part B, how many question. Mostly our test 1 is multiple choice. So there is ABC for you to choose. Okay, let's start doing our revision starting from. Okay, this is basically that I will push later on to your Telegram. I just send this to lecturer to check first. Okay, we start with our module 1. Okay, in our module 1, what we have learned? We learn on analog and digital. So analog and digital, normally they will ask you a simple question like, what is the differentiation between analog and digital? What is the analog? What is digital? So you need to know each of them. And especially also you can see how the waveform look like. I don't know the type of this coming semester how the question will be look like, but later if let's say I already get the question, I will create our like mock test just for us. But for all section we will also having a mock test. just for you to try and use the section 00. Which is we will do parallelly with all the section, 10 section altogether. All lecturer will also join. And you can see over here, this is our digital quantities. So there is to differentiate between analog and digital. So please make sure you know each detail. And don't wait until tomorrow, don't wait until Friday just for you to take time to do revision. So as I mentioned, after class, please directly like repeat again, watch again the video and do all the exercise. This is the type of signal for analog and digital. And for the sampling also, okay, who's the last one? Amirul Haziq. After this, he's going to answer question directly. Okay, this is sampling. As I mentioned, what you need to know is you are not going to be asked to draw. As long as you know the step, uh, basically it's not ask you like specific what is step number 2, what is step number 3, but I don't know whether this kind of question will be asked, but previous there is no testing. And you need to know how basically the sampling will be doing. You can see over here, this is the step. And supposedly sometimes they give you a picture like you need to like numbers, which is the first one, second, third, and so on. Not go, they're not going to ask you to draw. And you can see over here, there is for the sampling, it is for you to convert, isn't it? Convert from analog to digital. So you need to know there is only two type of conversion, which is where is this slide? Which is the okay, which is the ADC and also DAC, where the digital to analog converter and also analog to digital converter. You need to know each of them. And in this slide, you can see you need to pick which is analog, which is digital. So you need to know how to differentiate the devices that are under analog and devices is under digital. And because after we have like several history before we go deeper into digital, of course, as mentioned, you need to know about a basic thing about analog and the comparison. But after that, you totally will focus on digital only. That is why uh, after you learn on analog and digital differentiation, it's direct go to the digital part. What is the digital advantages? What is the digital disadvantages? This is very important for you to remember. Please don't just refer to your slide notes. Better for you also to try to read and go through all your module books. Now, you can see there is analog and digital converter where you're going to apply, and hybrid system. In our class last time, I already mentioned hybrids mean a combinations of system. Whatever system, when you have a combine, let's say you have two system in one, so it's called hybrid. So that's why hybrid here in this slide, it is because of you have analog and digital. So that's why it's called as hybrid system. So your audio CD is hybrid system, example of hybrid system, because you have analog and you have also digital signals. So you need to know the functions of ADC and DAC. In this slide, you can see there is a explanation on each categories, ADC and DAC. So after that, after like very broad explanations related to analog and digital, you are directly jump later on to the digital digits, logic level, and digital waveform. And in here, we have learned that you have high, which is referred to 1, low is referred to 0. And I said also, sometimes there is a lecturer that familiar with others, which is, let's say, if high, it can be also as on. If let's say you are given with the situation of lamp, let's say you have a lamp, it's very ugly, my drawing. Let's say you have a lamp. So from here you can see, if in the question mentioned, okay, there is a scenario, blah, 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 but suddenly it's mentioned on. So you need to know on stage is when it's high or positive or bit 1. Or sometimes it's called as a true. It is slightly different with your arithmetic, is it? Arithmetic things, your number system, which is, I said, is slightly different, which is if let's say you have 1, it's referred to negative number, isn't it? If 0 is positive number, but you need to focus on this for now. For the digital logic part, input and output when you have a bit of 1, not on the numbering system. If it is not on the numbering system, it's going to be positive, on, true, high, or bit number 1. While for 0, it's going to be low, off, and false. And you can see over here, there is invalid value between high and low. You only have high for 1 and low for 0. There is no casting of 0 0.5, 0 0.3, 0 0.2, whatever in between. And afterwards, let's say 1.1, 1.2, also there is no casting, which is the value is invalid. So for digital, you only see 0 and 1, 0 and 1 as the input and also the output. So this is the example of representation. So you can see over here, it's mentioned either 0 or 1. So this is our recap only, so that I hope that you will like having a fresh mind after this for you to do mock test and also your test 1. And in here, please make sure sometimes it is not like giving you only information or theory for you to learn, but maybe it can give you the picture like this. So it asks you, what is the name of this pulse? So you need to know it is active high or positive logic. Or for this picture, so you need to know it is negative logic or active low. And sometimes also they just give you a name, but you need to pick the correct pulse picture. Which one is the correct for active low? Which one is the correct for active high? And over here, you can see for positive logic or active high, it is from low to high. which is called as rising or leading edge. Over here, it is go up. And mentions also, you will normally not given with the names like active high, but sometimes you will given only arrow like this. And this one is active high and also positive, as I mentioned. And if it is error for this part, which is falling down, it is a negative clock or negative logic. But I also mentioned there is no trusting for you to have this kind of error, which is it is a reverse. Because in our like way, we have one highway, let's say, there is no things that we like convert back, which is you going to flow in only one direction. When you have input or output, you're going to have a flow and you cannot go back. That's why your error will be looking similar part, which is toward this end from start to end, but only where you put for this part is going to be active high or positive clock, and for this part it is negative clock. So you're going to know that there is no casting like this. If like maybe they put like this only, so this is not the correct one because you cannot reverse. And please make sure you remember all like this one, T0, T1. So this is the time. And what else? Okay. And you can see also if sometime then didn't give you in term of like error, but they can put the bubble things, which is we already learned bubbles normally negative thing, which is not. Not is inverter or negative thing, which is you will invert everything. Let's say I inform to you, okay, Amirul is very good student, but because you are negative person, you twist, you invert my conversation. You said Amirul is not a good student, so you having this bubble. So whatever bubble over here is negative thing, you're going to invert whatever input that you have. So active high is going to be similar. There is no bubble. Active low, there is a bubble in front. So you need to know in terms of this type of image, and also this one. Because sometimes they just give you the name and you need to pick the correct picture. But sometimes you were given with the name and you need to pick sometimes you were given the picture, you need to pick the name. And at this part is another one important, which is in the case of active high, your high value will be 1. But for your active low, your high will be 0. So that is a difference, isn't it? So please make sure you remember this situation and this scenario. If let's say for active high, for bit 1 is what? For bit 0 is what? Later on when you apply and you learn an for SOP, POS, all of this will be talked back. Maybe you need to like, oh, you need to remember back all the basic things from module 1. And there is 2 type only for the waveform. There is 2 type only, which is first type is paradic and second type is aperiodic or non-paradic. For paradic, you have all the value there, which is you have the period, you have the frequency. Please make sure you know how to check and to define where your setting point for your period. This part until where. So you need to carefully look into the signal that will be given, and you need to see uh, which part is your period, and then after that you can calculate your frequency. Sometimes you were given only frequency, you need to find the period, etc. So you can see vice versa, they can ask you a question. And another one you can see for non-periodic or aperiodic, which is it doesn't have period, you will have like a random signal, because you will not going to have repetition signal. Periodic is going to repeat. It's not going to be like I think, please make sure you refer back my video last time. I give you example of several signal how it's look like. It is not going to be similar like all this, which is square thing. It's very beautiful, and you can see easy for you to like, okay, this is periodic. But sometimes it's like making you confused. There is several pulse, and then it continues several similar pulse. And for non-periodic, you can see there is no period at all. It's totally like a random pulse that were given to your inputs or your output. There is several type of signal. It is easy for you because it is normal characters that you use, which is, if let's say looking like this, it is sign, or maybe in is a square type, you can say, okay, this is a square signal. If it look like a more to a triangle, it is triangle signals. And like a sawtooth over here, also you can like easily name them. This is an example of periodic signal, but again, similar to our previous class, I mentioned, normally we're going to use a square for our digital logic. We rarely use sine, triangle, and sawtooth for our signal. But it is under periodic signal. And then you have aperiodic signal. You can have random signal look like. So you can see there is 3 example over here. So you can have like many more other signal which is random for you to put as a type of aperiodic signal. And this equation you already learned in your secondary school when you learn science and physics. You learn equation frequency equal to 1 over period. So I hope that this equation not going to be a problem with all of you. And vice versa, this is mathematics. If you have frequency, you can get that. You can get period. If you have period, you can get a frequency. It's depend on how the question will ask you. And you need to know also on the units. On the units, you need to know, because later on you can see that we're going to have like the units of mathematics, which is like mega, pico, micro, and etc. So please make sure you will summarize it to be in hertz for frequency, and in second for your period. So that is an example for you to use and try to play around with your equation over here. So last time I already mentioned to you, please make sure you change the frequency value, change the period value, and play around with the equation until you very familiar with this equation. And you can see that is like millisecond. So please make sure if you want to end up the answer with like 10 to the power 10 times 10 to the power of minus 3, you know, okay, this one is milli supposedly, so why don't I just put 10 millisecond. So you can like putting the units. I ask you to remember on unit conversion. And unit conversion is a must question to be asked, because we just will simply putting like this, right? 100, let's say, megahertz, 100 pico or pica or megahertz or whatever, like this, giga, terahertz. So you need to know how to convert it. If you don't know what is the representation of unit conversion for each kilo, mega, giga, tera, milli, micro, nano, pico, so you're going to have a trouble. You need to know also how basically the unit you need to represent. Like milli is a, mega is a capital letter, and small letter for micro, and etc. So last time I forgot already, right, about pico. I put like capital letter P for pico, but there is no casting P PK or whatever for our unit conversions. That's why one of the students informed me pico is supposedly small. So for me, it's acceptance, because I'm not going to pick the test and final exam, but you need and must to remember all the unit conversion. Okay, you can try to apply in all these example. You can see there's many example were given. I ask you to try. Okay, after we finish with our unit conversion, we go and take a look into pulse. You need to remember the definitions. Not going to remember all the sentences, but at least the keywords for the pulse. And you need to know where is pulse width, where is the rise time, where is the fall time. Sometimes we were not given this like similar signal, but you were given with different signal. Of course, like this. So you need to know, okay, this one is my pulse width. Where is my duty cycle? Duty cycle is what? Where is my amplitude? Where is active? What is next question? Active on state. Where is off state? So all of this we already learned together. So I just like recap what you need to focus on. And please make sure you try back all the question. Exercise 1.3, 1.4, and 1.5. Basically, it's similar thing, only as I mentioned last time, only a different in like representation, how the question will be asked. The question is similar. The technique that you need to apply also similar, but the type of question, how the question asks you is different. There is also timing diagram. In our class last time, I asked you like, what is the value at T3? What is the value at T5? So you need to know where is your capital T, where is your T small t. And sometimes when the question is already give you, maybe different lecturer want to use different characteristic, but as long as you understand where is the period, then you know exactly how to get the answer. You can see over here, we already take a look into this example. At time 8, what is the value of A, B, and C? 7, what is the value? 6, what is the value? 5, what is the value, and etc. So you can see here you have clock, and see it give you a hint like this. It's mean as it active high. And normally if you have this going, sometimes it's not going to give you the timing diagram like this, but it's directly put all here, an error. arrow will be pointing up. So you know, okay, this is active high. And all the value you will get from this signal. What else? Timing diagram, truth tables. So you need to complete the truth table. On data transfer, this one, although it's not much, but yeah, the basic things you need to know how the serial data will be sent and how the parallel data will be sent. So that all's about the theory things. Then you go deep into your logic operation, which is your basic gates. This one is we also already learned yesterday on our module 3, right? And, or, and not. Please make sure you remember. If after this I ask you how to answer a question, I give you a question, you still did not remember the truth table, then you're going to have trouble, okay? So you can see you have several, and net or no, XO, X no, buffer, and inverter, or your get not. I hope that, I don't want to hope, I want you to remember all the truth tables. So please make sure you already look into this. And a logic function, as I mentioned, I want you to read because it is just a theory thing on reading. I really don't like read. Uh, but last night I already recorded the video. I will push and upload it by today. It is just on the function. You need to know the theory. What is the function of adder? What is the functions of decoder? Where you're going to apply? You can see. That is the only things about our module 1. And about the IC, the most important is how you're going to name and number the pin. There is only 2 ways over here in your slide. You can also refer to your module books for better explanation. But I will already give you a recording. It is also in the chapter of pin numbering. So that's all for your module 1. I'll be also okay. Now let's take a look on your module 2. On numbering system, you have basically several numbering system, but we only focus on our binary, octal, decimal, and hexadecimal. Only these 4. Although you have like basic, base 3, base 4, base 5, which is called as trinary, quaternary, quinary. So you need to know how the conversion will be taken, but for the rest is the one that we focus on: binary, octal, decimal, and hexadecimal only. The way how you're going to convert from decimal to binary, so let me go directly for the chapter of summarization. Okay. Throughout our module 2A, you have the technique for you to convert decimal to any base number. What is the type? You going to do a fraction and wholes number, which is your integer number. You cannot directly convert if you have fraction number and integer number together. For decimal to any base, you have a successive multiplication for fraction part and successive division for the integer part. But when you want to convert from any base which is base 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, whatever numbers, any base, convert to decimal, you only have one method, which is positional number system. So this part is easy for like converting, because if you frequently try and do the exercise, it's very easy for you to apply. And on top of it, you want to have like direct conversion. No need for you to like convert from octal to decimal and then to binary. Instead, you can have direct conversion by using the conversions for octal to binary, binary to octal. And from binary to hexadecimal, from hexadecimal to binary, you were given the example already. For octal with binary, you need to divide it into 3 bits. Why 3 bits? I already mentioned 2 the power of 3 equal to 8. And for hexadecimal, you need to have 4 because it is to the power of 4 equal to 16. That is only things that you learn on your module 2A. For module 2B, we take a look into several like codes. But before we go to like ASCII, BCD, Greek code, we need to know on these terms. I mentioned to you, you're not going to only learn this one and apply in digitalogy subject, but all subjects throughout your semester in your UTM study. You're going to need to know what is bit, nibbles, byte, and word. How many bits for words, how many bits for byte, how many bits for nibbles. So I hope that you already remember, and we can see later on you learn on BCD codes, Greek codes, ASCII code, and parity code. I don't want to touch deeper because I already asked you also yesterday how to convert on ASCII using this table for your ASCII and another table for this table that will be provided. And last time in our class also, I already asked you 2 students to convert on the gray codes from binary to gray code, from gray code to binary. But after this, I also will ask you. And you can see also there is a parity code. How you're going to apply, you need to remember this table. There is no exception. It's not going to give in your test. So you need to know how the tables will look like. So that is the only thing on your module 2B. And yesterday we just learned, not yesterday, but several times we learned on our module 2C on integer, unsigned, signed, and addition and subtractions, including your first complement and second complement. So I dah bebel about like 1 hours. Now it is my turn to ask you a question and you are going to teach us. Okay, I'm going to pick someone and I will ask a question past year maybe, or maybe I just randomly create my own my own question. Wait, I want to prepare the question for you. There will be part A and part B, but both is basically going to be a multiple choice. I want to check the. Wait. Okay, where's my words, or maybe I put here in our slide. Tak ada lah kat sini. Slide, which one? Picture with action. Tak nak lah. Why I cannot paste? Okay, I'm going to try to paste in your chat. Can. Cannot paste to the PPT. It's okay. So I'm going to paste to your chat. First question. Don't waste your friend time. So please answer as fast as you can. So I'm going to give a question to kenapa nama tak keluar? Semua buka webcam. Adib Wafi. The question I will give direct to the chat. Wait, I still copy paste. I think under recording is not going to see where I take the question. Okay, that is the question. Choose the wrong statement. Choose the wrong statement. First, subtraction is additions of negative number. Division is repetition of multiplication. Adder resides in the ALU. Multiplication is repeating additions. Which is the incorrect statement?
B. Division is a repeated multiplication.
Confirm?
Yeah.
How about others? Is it correct or not?
For the first one is correct. Like we learned yesterday. If we want to subtract number, we just need to put negative at the second number and then plus the two numbers, and it will be a subtraction. And for the multiplication is a repeated addition. Yes, it is true. And for the adder decided in the ALU is true too.
Okay, thank you Adam Wafi. Kenapa I tak boleh tengok nama? Sekejap
Welcome to
Amirul Haziq. Where is your answer? Is it correct or not?
Hello, doctor.
Yes.
I think also B is the correct answer.
What is the correct answer?
B also.
I didn't put any A, B, C.
I mean division is a repeated multiplication.
Okay, so the correct answer is division is repetition multiplication. So it is the wrong statement. So correct for both of you. Second question. Kenapa tak ada tambah-tambah ni? Okay. The question is simple je. I pick dulu someone, okay? Farah Iza. Tiba-tiba pula calculation Okay, please answer that question. Calculate the frequency for period equal to 10 seconds.
Uh, 0.1 hertz.
0.1 hertz. So the rest, is it correct or not? So you just need to divide 1/10 seconds. So that is the correct answer. Next question. Kenapa gambar je ni? Oh, I can see that there is many question related to like which statement is wrong, which statement is incorrect. So there is another one related to statement also. Which statement is correct regarding integrate circuit? I put in your chat box. This one is like a bit tricky, which is there is a multiple choice and you don't know whether you can pick one or two or three or all. So you need to really understand all the sentences that you can answer. And last one. It is related on the functions. So basically, I guess this question is coming out from your module. So I'm going to pick Carol Izul. Please answer the question. Which statement is correct regarding integrated circuit? Choose all that apply. So which one is correct, or maybe all, or maybe only two? Which statement is correct? Khairul Izul ni dia dengar ke tak? Khairul Izul. I nampak kepala dia tunduk je. Dia tak gerak. Khairul Izul. Tapi gerak. Ke video dia memang buat video macam korang-korang dia dekat depan tu gerak-gerak kepala macam tu tunduk je. Tapi gerak tau. Macam bukan lag kan? Macam bukan lag apa? Kan tak ada internet kan? Khairul Izul, where are you? I rasa dia letak patung lah kat depan kamera dia. Korang dia dekat depan tu. Ke dia tidur? Tunduk. Aduh, hai. Khairul Izul. Dia study overnight malam tadi ni, stay up. Ayuh, tidur pula. Tak apa, kita pick someone else. Kejap lagi dia bangun, kita tanya dia. Gelak je Rizwan. Rizwan jawab. Wah, gelak ke kawan kan? Jawab. Which statement is correct regarding integrated circuit? Choose all that apply. Adakah pin number sequence is read counterclockwise? Jawapan yang betul satu saja ataupun dua jawapan betul ataupun tiga ataupun semua. Mana yang betul? Ni soalan test Sudahkah anda bersedia untuk menghadapi test? Sambil tu saya cari soalan lain. Banyak juga soalan true and false ni. I prepare for next question. Alamak, dah tersen pula soalan nombor 2. Habis lagi tu.
Doktor,
Yes.
dia correct answer kan?
Correct answer.
All correct but only one wrong. Betul ya?
Which one is wrong?
CMOS is an example of IC technologies. Saya salah baca.
Okay, you will get 0.75 marks. Because basically all
correct.
yes, all correct. So if this if this question will be asked in your final test, which is you were given the choice for you to pick any answer. So if let's say you pick like maybe 2, so your marks will be 0.5. Of course lah, if let's say the answer is all wrong, right? So it's divide like this. So if let's say you correctly pick 3, so you will get 0.75 for the question. If let's say marks is 1, it is not like maybe supposedly it is 4 all is correct, right? If you like maybe pick 2, you get totally wrong. No. So if you have the choice for you to pick, so you will be also given a marks based on your answer. So next question, I already put into your chat over here. Please ask Lai Kai Chen. Choose the false statement. Choose the false statement. Apa tadi? Statement regarding digital signal.
It used base 10.
Choose. Okay, jap. Okay. So how about others? Is it correct or not?
Yes, correct.
Wait. I got the message. Appendix 2 test 1 macam ni. Memang ini ke test serius?
Jangan nak tutup balik ni.
Previous copy yang dari previous. Okay, sorry. It is related to digital logic, so that's why I need to wait first. Okay, so the correct answer is it use past 10. So it is the false statement. The rest is correct. Choose the false statement regarding digital signal. So for it require greater bandwidth is correct. is denotes by square wave, it's correct. It used discrete 0 and 1, also correct. Only the wrong part of false is it used past tense. And next question. Next question. Still on. There is a lot of question that about correct and false. Okay. The question also still under correct, choose or not. So now I'm going to pick Nurudini.
Yes.
Okay, the question will be choose the correct sequence of the data store. So this is the question. So you need to pick the answer. I give you one. Okay. Choose the correct sequence data, blah, 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 blah. So you were given 4 choice.
Okay, is it register, ROM, and flip flop?
Your correct answer is?
Wait. From biggest to smallest. Is it the third one?
Which one? Flip flop, flash, and register?
Oh.
No. Gan hang lai. What is your answer?
Is it the third?
What gan?
The third. The flip-flop flash registers.
I guess Dini also answer like that. Flip flop, flash, register. It is wrong. Choose the correct sequence of data storage from bigger. It's wrong. Who else? Chong Jin Wayne.
I think it's RAM register and flip-flop. The correct sequence.
RAM register and flip flop. Yes, that is the correct answer. So the correct answer, choose the correct sequence of data storage from bigger capacity to small capacity. The correct answer is RAM, register, and flip-flop. So if, let's say, today is a test, so for those answer wrong than that, you will get wrong marks. Maybe I will go for like numbering system question. Okay, I have a question. The number You need to have I don't know whether you can use calculator or not, but yeah, okay. Just give you the number, okay, and then this is how when you, let's say, although you have a calculator, but when you see that long number, then maybe you also will have wrong answer just because you place it wrong. Okay, the number 00100101010100000000 is in BCD. Convert them to decimal representation. So for test 1 is easier. Maybe you can direct use your calculator and you get the answer. So what is the correct answer? Muhammad Faris.
Wait, my calculator is my error. What is?
Your calculator is error. Oh, because it's too long. So how are you going to answer? How are you going to answer in your test? What is the answer? You have many choice. You have Google's. Of course, you cannot use it in your test, but yeah, you need to come up with answer. Muhammad Nazrul.
Saya, the answer is 136 136,576. Decimal kan?
Macam salah je.
Ya ke? Kejap.
Apa yang dapat sama? Did anyone get the similar? No.
Kejap.
No.
Sekali. Saya tekan ke?
If let's say you were given like let's say 20 question, your time will be given about like 30 minutes only. So one question normally you need to spend only like about 1 minute and a half only. So if like you take too long,
CD binary code. So contoh decimal. 36576. 136.
136. Apik. Okay. Nur Alia, did you get the similar or what is your answer?
I get 21580.
Yes, correct. Siapa tadi? Faris
Yes.
Macam mana you dapat? Ke you punya calculator yang problem?
0.1580 bukan
10.
hexadecimal.
Hexa ke?
Dia nak decimal. Decimal representation.
215.
Betul lah.
Convert them to the decimal
Decimal
representation.
representation. Kalau decimal 135 tu lah kot. 136, 576.
Lah dalam question ni saya tengok dia ada bagi 1580. Wait, I ask different person. Engkai, what is your answer?
136576.
Oh. The 21580 is hexadecimal.
Hexadecimal.
Yes, hexadecimal.
So maybe this question is wrong. Because it asks convert them to decimal representation, and then I see now for different answer there is like E1580, but the correct answer is give in the e-learning is 21580. But it's okay, it is a multiple choice. As long as you know how to convert, maybe you can get the correct one, because there is no like 1, 3, whatever numbers for decimal. I forgot whether last time there is a correction or not for this question. So this is start of question that will come out for your test 1. Okay, next. Still under like a numbering system. I will like copy paste. Your chat. Okay, now Khairo dah bangun. Khairo dah bangun.
Ya, doktor.
Selamat pagi.
Selamat pagi.
Kita orang tunggu awak tadi. Lama kita orang tunggu tak bangun-bangun. So the question is, calculate the binary sign value for second complement using 8-bit representation. That is the question, minus 5410 plus 37. Sorry. The best tu. Yang 10 tu best Sekejap I buat 35, 37. Okay, that one. Minus 54 plus 37. The answer are in the format of second complement.
Second complement.
Yes.
Alright. Ya. So kalau negatif 4. Yes. Negatif. Jangan salah ni. Betul ke negatif 54 tambah 37 ni? Betul?
Betul.
Negatif boleh?
Negatif boleh ke tambah 37?
Dapat negatif 14 kan?
Saya nak dalam second complement.
1110010.
Kejap. Apa?
1110010.
Salah.
Second complement.
Mana? Baru belajar semalam.
Dia tak mengingati. Yang second complement yang yang tambah 1 tu.
Mana? Original tak? Boleh ke negatif? Itu 0685. Tiga. Sekejap.
Dah lah kita orang tunggu awak bangun lambat.
Tu ada
Kan?
tak?
Jawab pun lambat macam ni.
Enggak, otak saya pun jam sekejap. Otak saya lag sekejap. Sekejap. Dalam bentuk 8. Betul. Rasa betul kan tadi? Negatif. Jadi negatif kat depan lah. Negatif 111 0010.
Sejak bila pula binary ada negatif pula ni? 1.5 negatif. Okay, saya tak nak lama nanti sebab kita nak go through lagi equation. Muhammad Afif, what is your answer?
Miss.
Huh?
1110 1111.
Okay, correct. So yang lain tu if let's say you didn't get the answer, I put in your chat. So please make sure you try and get the similar. If not, you cannot ready to go for your test 1. So as long as like you ready to get the answer, you can answer your test 1. Next question. Okay. Because all of this is past year test 1, okay? So this is the type of question I want to like train you. Compute 0.786310. I guess 10 is best. 2 decimal, hexadecimal value. Sorry, the best 10 again. I remove. Assume it's best 10, okay? I cannot do a best in the chat. Compute 0.7863 to hexadecimal value. So your answer will be like 3, or maybe it's not going to give you a hint. 3 fraction numbers only. The one that I want to pick is Muhammad.
Okay, sekejap
Okay. Okay, while Muhammad try to calculate, I just get information related to your test. You cannot go back to previous page. So please take note, I don't want to repeat again, and don't do silly mistake by go to the next page without finish your current page. Tak boleh return to previous page. And we are still in discussing, maybe we will do a mock test Friday at 30 p.m. at night, maybe. But that mock is how you like answering, how you're going to play around like Telegram and then password and etc. It is all section, not only our section. So Muhammad, dah ada jawapan belum?
Sekejap, lupa dia punya formula. Sekejap
Aduh.
It's easy to say, it's never the same. I guess the kind of like the way I'm not afraid. Another day, into nightfall. Then you're not here to get me through it all. I let my guard down, you pure. I was getting out of you to be someone love.
Okay, sambil saya pergi cari soalan kedua. I fall into your window desperate into nightfall, and I'm not here to Okay, this is quite interesting. Farah sent message to Hendra. Hendra may detect error by using O. And now it's gonna try out.
Doktor macam mana nak
Oh.
formula dia ke ni?
Awak ni nak
Saya tengah
exam
cari tu lupa.
dah. Formula tak tahu pula. Formula apa ni? Saya pun tak tahu formula.
Kau masukkan formula dia punya method.
Daripada decimal to hexadecimal ni tak adalah. Susah
Saya
sangat
lupa.
saya tu.
Saya ni
Lupa.
pun lupa.
Yang ni yang summarize page tadi saya dah summarizekan dah. You kena buat repetition. Kan? Betul tak? Saya cakap, I tak suka ingat dia punya nama method tu. Tapi kena buat repetition multiplication kan? Betul ke tak yang lain? Lambat tunggu you. Kita pergi second question lah. Sekejap Sambil tu awak buat tau. Okay, next question. Next question we will Alif. Dah tanya you ke belum? Alice would like to convert binary number into decimal. Then she continue with the conversions of integer part. Sekejap, saya slowkan. Of integer part of decimal number to octal. Lastly, she also convert the fraction part of decimal number to octal. Name the conversion program Alice took for each step A, B and C. Ini yang saya tak suka hafal ni. Untuk teknik A, B and C tu apa nama dia? Like successive division ke, repetition multiplication ke, summations of positioning ke, successive division ke, apa lagi? Banyak sangat dah teknik ni nak hafal. Tapi you kena hafal. Tadi baru saya buat summarization dekat dalam satu page tu. And this is a past year test 1, okay? So supposedly you can answer. Berapa markah ya soalan ni? 3 markah. Sebab you kena pilih 3 method kan? So it is 3 marks. Kalau you tak tahu, hilang terbanglah markah 3 tu. Alif? Jawapannya apa?
Untuk yang first tu,
A.
yang A tu doubling.
Apa?
Dia integer product. Dia bahagi dengan 8.
Tak, sekarang dia suruh namakan teknik tu. Kan ada sensitive division, kan ada sign magnitude, kan ada summation positioning.
Yang first tu dia successive division.
Yang mana?
Yang A.
A, successive division. B?
B tu yang division.
Muhammad dia tak dapat lagi ke jawab?
Sekejap. Dia darah makin meninggi jawapan dia. Tak tahu kenapa. Kita salah kira sekejap
Yang mula you dapat apa? Depan-depan tu, tak payah belakang-belakang.
Yang atas sekali tu.
Yelah, tak kisahlah.
12. Kalau 12
12 apa?
dalam hexa kan?
Hexa, ya.
Sekejap. 12 C.
Lagi?
Lepas tu 9.
Okey, lagi?
4.
Betul lah tu. So the answer for the question number compute 0.7863 to hexadecimal, the answer is 0.C94 blah 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 blah. It's depend on, it's going to give you the answer ABC, right? So you pick the correct one. So now we wait for Alif to answer that question. While waiting, I'm going to see different question. Okay, this one is calculation. Still from your past S. So Alif, you dapat jawapan nanti you inform . So this is next question. Siapa tak tanya lagi lah? Liu Chin Ho, can you answer? A system has an off state period of 27.3 microsecond and on state period of 22.7 microsecond. Ni tak ada soalan macam ni tak ada dekat you punya example. But yeah, basically you can know from off state and on state you can get the period. Find its active period, inactive period, TW in and also capital T. Okay, let me show you how basically the question will be look like for this type. Question 9 ke. Okay, this is like example of the question, and you were given marks of 3 marks. You can see. So you need to pick. It give you a choice already. What is the answer? But you need also to calculate and pick the correct one. So out of 3 marks, your answer will be 4 over here. So what is the correct answer for inactive period, active period, T and TW? Alhamdulillah. Muhammad, you tak dapat. Muhammad pula. Alif, you tak dapat lagi ke? Dalam nota kan ada?
Dah dapat.
Dah dapat
Yang
dah?
untuk A, dah.
Kejap.
Untuk A,
Okay.
positional notation.
Okay.
Okay, and then B, dia division by 8.
Okay. C.
And then C, multiplication.
Okay. So A will be summation of positioning. You're going to use base 2. So I put okay, A over here to answer. So you can like try to do it later on. B, successive division by 8. B. And C, C will be repetitive multiplication by 8. This one, the question for Alice 1. What is the question? Alice would like to convert binary number into decimal. So binary, the answer is summations of positioning numbers of base 2. So for B, then she continue with the conversions of integer part decimal to number to octal. So it's called as successive division by 8. And C, lastly, she also convert the fraction number of decimal number to octal. So it is a repetitive multiplication by 8. Now we are waiting for your friend to answer the off-state and etc. I guess it took time because it's calculations. But next question. We will try to occupy another one question. Still, Henry, invalid. Okay. There is gray code and also ASCII. ASCII is give you a table, refer to the ASCII table. Okay, this is like example of question for ASCII, but I don't want you to answer this because for me ASCII is very easy because it's directly give you a table. Like this one, refer to the ASCII table given. See, it's given above. Machine Z want to transmit character D, capital DD. Using odd parity system, what is the actual binary bits transmit by the machine Z? So maybe you can try by yourself using the ASCII table that provided in your notes. That is not the question that I want you to answer because there is no technique, I guess. Although it's using parity you need to remember the table, but ASCII, I guess, just like referring to table, so it's easy. Next person will be Jia Ji Wing. Convert gray code 1010011 to binary value.
Madam, is it me?
Yes. Yeah, what is the question? Convert gray code to binary. So I hope that all of you like direct know, okay, what is the methods that you're going to apply. Or maybe you have like small note for you, just refer back to the methods.
my answer is 11000010.
11.
00010.
Okay, correct. So the answer I will put at the chat. So that is but the method, please make sure you try to refer back because we already discussed several times. So you can see how fast you are answering, because in your test you need only about 1.5 minutes for you to answer one question only. So if let's say you spend too much time, let's say 2 minutes, 3 minutes, then you did not have time for you to answer next question. So last question, we wait for Lee Chin's to answer. Maybe I can like give you what else, how the question will be look like. So sometimes you will be like given a very simple question like this, which is BCD is bit code decimal. Is it true or false? So you just need to pick whether it is correct or not. So for this question, BCD is bit code decimal. Is it correct or not? Faraiza. Farhana. Correct or not? BCD is bit code decimal.
Salah.
Yes, it is wrong. Supposedly it's going to like binary coded decimal, right? So the correct answer is wrong. So you need to pick like correct, false or true for this type of question. It's very simple, so you can get 1 marks. So there is also a question like this, still under like calculations. Maybe we can try. A system is inactive, which is not active for 30 seconds. Out of the period, you can see it give you the period already, 120 seconds. And what is the meaning by not active? That is why I mentioned to all of you, sometimes they prefer to give what terms that make you confused. Inactive, not active for 30 seconds. So you need to calculate off state period, pulse width and duty cycle. If you did not understand what is inactive or not active, then you cannot answer. So for this question, your off state, off state, of course you're inactive. Your off state is similar to inactive. As I mentioned, this is negative things. So I put the answer in your chat box so you can try. Then pulse width equal to second. And pulse width is like active state, or also what else? On state, isn't it? So it is like 120 minus 30. And lastly, duty cycle, you need to use the equation that we already learned. So the answer for the duty cycle will be 75%. And that is the answer. Please try. Is it you get it correct or not? So Lichin, did you finish already or not?
Doctor, what is the question for the summation of positional numbering of best two successive division?
What is the question?
What we should do?
Again, a method or what?
Is there a question or?
Yeah, there is a question. The one that A, B, C, Alice would like to convert and etc. I put the question and answer together so that you're not going to confuse. Sorry, I put okay. I put the capital letter so that you know.
Oh, I see. There's a answer for the
Alice one.
previous. Okay.
So that is the question and answer. So now the last question is
Doctor.
Yes.
Is that the clue you give is the clue for?
Wait.
Oh, okay.
Aduh, bunyi for. Okay, again.
The offset power width and the duty cycle is the clue for the question.
Wait, I share the screen so that it's easy for you to see. Okay, the question asks you, a system has offset, which is 27.3 microsecond. This one offset is your inactive, and your on state is 22.7 to microsecond. So when you add off state and on state, you will get your T, isn't it?
Yes.
What is this? After you add this one,
50.
Okay. Then find is active period. Active period is on state. So it is just a trick question. So
Yes.
similar to, so means you will get 22.7. For inactive is similar to off state. So you will get 27 microsecond. And lastly, TW. So this one you need to calculate. TW is what? TW.
So
You
we
get
need to use duty cycle that given.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But TW is basically your on state,
Active.
isn't it?
Yes.
So supposedly it's going to be 22.7, isn't it? So it's just
I
want
think so.
to like make you confused. But let me double check the question, the answer, is it correct or not? Active period is 22.7 micro. Inactive is 27. Yes, correct. So it's just a trick. You can see, as long as you understand basically how the what is the meaning of on state, what is the meaning is active, inactive, is basically already there. I think for this question, as I mentioned, for calculation also it's just like 1 minute. The maximum is 2 minutes, so it's not going to occupy you too many time. So it is just a trick for you. No need for you to calculate anything. Only for T, which is your period, you just need to add on state and off state. When you add, of course, you're going to get 50 microsecond over here, right? And the rest is similar, which is your understanding with the term. Okay or not?
Okay. Thank
Okay,
you, doctor.
okay, thank you. Okay, I guess only that. Now I'm going to share the QR code for the last time, because I guess there is another 2 or 3 students not yet finished scan the QR code. And for the rest, you can dismiss, and thank you for your participant. Where is the QR code? I cannot find. Okay, this one. So please make sure after this, after we already finalize, directly when I share you the link, directly do the 2 form. And then whatever information at your Telegram, please make sure you read it carefully, especially for the mock test. When is the mock test? And just now I get the information you cannot go back to the previous page. In one page, you're going to have like 5 questions. So you need to finish the 5 questions. Although you don't know that specific, let's say 1 question you don't know, you still cannot move to next page until you finish all. Okay. So the question will be random. So you don't discuss with your friend. You're not going to get the similar first question, similar with your friend, first question, second question, and etc. So please just do it correctly. Now it's already full 31/31. Thank you, and meet you again in WhatsApp group, because I'm going to inform also where we're going to do our discussion. Okay. Okay, thank you and
Okay, thank you,
bye-bye.
Doctor. Doctor, can I have the answer for the ASCII table, the question?
Ascii Table. I didn't share. Where? ASCII. ASCII. Where is the question? Let me check the question back. Refer to the ASCII table. Okay. Okay, I'm going to share this answer for ASCII table. It is 11000100. Please try to do and get the correct answer. Okay. So okay, bye bye everyone.
Thank you, Doctor.
Okay, bye. If you
Bye-bye, Doctor.
get the correct answer, you can WhatsApp me. Okay.
Thank you,
Bye.
Doctor.
Thank you,
Doctor.
Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Doctor.
Doctor.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Doctor. Sorry,
Bye bye. Tidur lagi.
Thank you, Doctor.
Doctor, nak tanya, yang pasal video tu bahasa Inggeris ke bahasa Melayu?
Bahasa Inggeris lah.
Okay, tu je.
Okay, bye.
Terima kasih.
Okay.
Thank you, Doctor.
Okay, bye bye.